Hello and welcome everyone to a video here on the Carnage channel. My name is ProReborn, a content creator for the team, and I'm excited to bring you guys a guide on the brand new stadium location coming into Warzone tonight for Season 5. Before we hop into today's video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the Carnage channel to show your support, and you can also subscribe to my channel over at ProReborn, where I do Call of Duty intel and leaks as well as news as they release. With that being said, let's get into the video. Okay guys, so Season 5 is just right around the corner. It is releasing tonight, and the official times for drops will be 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, August the 4th, and 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on August the 5th. Just a friendly reminder for everyone, the update sizes are approximately 34 gigabytes for PlayStation 4, in which you can preload right now, 50 gigabytes for Xbox, and 55 gigabytes for PC. You can only preload it on PS4 because the two other systems do not support preloading updates. Anyways, back to Season 5. Once you first launch up Warzone tonight, you will be introduced to a new version of the Verdansk map. In the trailer lead-ups that we have seen up to this point, we knew that one thing was coming: the opening of the stadium in the middle of the Warzone map. A lot of people speculated from the teaser clips sent to popular content creators that the stadium was in fact going to get nuked this season, but as we could see in the Season 5 official trailer, that the actual rooftop is blown clean open by none other than Shadow Company operator herself, Rose. This is going to lead us into today, where Call of Duty has actually released an in-depth augmented reality look into Stadium. This graphic is absolutely sick, and it gave me a lot of insight into the tactical positions as well as the layout of the stadium, which is a lot bigger than I think that a lot of people think at first glance. With that being said, this is going to be a little preview of that top-down view that you guys are looking at of the augmented reality view of Stadium. And now we're going to hop in and actually break down that graphic as well as the areas of Stadium. The first thing we're really going to notice about the new stadium area is that exposed roof that you can either sit on top of, which in the beginning of the game is probably a riskier play than later in the game where it can become a good vantage position, but that large field in the middle. Tactically speaking, at the beginning of your Warzone games, that will be the most risky drop. You'll have lots of players dropping there with you, and you'll also have to worry about players looking down from the stands and also the entrances of the main field of Stadium. It's going to give you plenty of cover from the tents, but once you rotate out from that area, you're going to be majorly exposed to other players throughout the area. The good news is that will not be the only way to enter through Stadium. I think once Season 5 drops, a lot of players are going to be very misinformed if they didn't look at the graphic and just go for the giant hole right up top to enter into the stadium. The good news is that there's actually multiple ways to get into the stadium from the outside, and with that augmented reality view, we can actually see that there's 2 additional entrances to the stadium and even an additional parking garage. So first up on the list of areas inside of Stadium is going to be that first entrance. This will be the north entrance. Just by the first look, this will be a more cluttered entrance with more cover than its counterpart being the west entrance. The west entrance looks like it's more of an open space and a little more of a riskier play, but if you're a rush happy player, there's going to be a ton of rooms. You can kind of go ahead and loot across them and jump room to room and get different vantage points in different rooms. In comparison to the previous 3 locations that I talked about being the more hectic areas, being those 2 entrances as well as the middle of the field of Stadium, it does look like that there's some areas in Stadium that will be a little more slept on. So if you are a player that is lower in skill or doesn't want to be part of just the huge amount of action that's going to happen as soon as you drop and wants to survive and be able to look and loot around Stadium, there is going to be one area that is a little more low-key, and this is going to be that east parking garage. This is going to be a safer bet, especially at launch, because a lot of people will be immediately apt to go straight to the main area of Stadium and discover all of the new halls and areas and openings inside of the new location. Landing here should be more of a breeze in comparison, especially as soon as the update drops, and you can get a nice rotation into Stadium from here and even go in towards the entrances with more armor and loot to better equip yourself against the players that will already be inside. Now, in terms of locations that we've already seen in the trailer, we actually have upper levels of stadium. In this area, there is a bar area that we have seen in the trailer, as well as an executive hallway with suites in it. These rooms will probably offer you a place to breathe and more open areas for gunfights, so if you're somebody who doesn't want to immediately drop into the middle, if you do decide to drop over on the spectator stands or on the second level of stadium, you can rotate into that executive hallway area just so you can quickly loot all of the rooms if you're some type of person that likes to slay a little more, and then you can rotate over into the main area and be a part of the bigger gunfights breaking out towards the middle. In addition to these areas, there are going to be 2 more areas that was shown on the augmented reality chart that we did not actually see more in depth from the season 5 trailer. This is going to be more of a surprise as we start exploring the halls and locations of stadium in season 5. Is going to be a new food court area that we haven't really seen much information about, as well as a smaller field located on the inside area of stadium labeled as the West Field. Now that we got the main locations out of the way, let's talk about some strategies that you guys can utilize to get better Warzone games moving into the season 5 update. So the first strategy I have for you guys is the stupid aggressive strategy. If you got paddles on the back of your controller and your aim is absolutely cracked out of your mind, then you're going to want to land straight on the middle of the field inside of stadium. For most players, this is not the greatest idea, and when the season first drops, I think that everyone's just gonna land straight in that middle field, so it's probably the most dangerous, especially for the first week of the season. For passive aggressive players, I definitely recommend landing higher on the spectator stands, the bar area, or the office area. Just stay away from that middle area of the stadium, that field area, and go ahead and loot on the top floor and go through those offices and then rotate back in and kill all of the people in the middle if they still choose to stay there. For more cautious players that want to play a little more passive, I would definitely recommend the following 2 strategies. The first one is land at that parking garage area, loot up a little bit, and then rotate through the interior doors of stadium through the front and the side entrances. This is going to ensure that you're going to be able to push in with just a little bit of loot, and you'll be able to take out some of the players that are occupied and tied up in other gunfights. The other one, which is probably the smarter strategy, is to actually just land outside of the stadium, which is just the classic area that we know from all of the other seasons, just the exterior, all of the walkways. Loot around stadium and then just go right in. There's plenty of great loot around stadium anyways, so it's probably a decent idea to just go around stadium, take the loot that you can, and then run right in. For this last strategy, I'm calling in all of you trolls, all of you -5 KD people with no shame. Absolutely, this is the camper strategy. All you gotta do is pretty simple. Loot somewhere else in the beginning of the game near a helicopter, and then take the helo and head on over to the roof of the actual stadium and camp on the top. If you do this, just wow. I really hope that you're not inside of any of my games, but nonetheless, this really is some type of strategy. Anyways, guys, with that being said, hopefully you guys got a little more information about the actual stadium location in Warzone. I really appreciate you guys watching the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to support the Carnage team, and you can also check out my personal channel in the description down below. With that being said, I hope all of you guys have a great day and good luck leading into the next season.